Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Commentary Show. Doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 23rd August 2025. Welcome to the sunset. As you can see, there's no good sunset, but you can also see that there's a lot of clouds. Tomorrow gonna be very rainy, so yeah. Okay, here we go. Don't blink, it's your boy Yink. Welcome to the show. Because you guys are doing well, because having a wonderful day on this 23rd August 2025. As you can see, we're doing much better. Today we're doing a taste test. I forgot to do the taste test. For the one and only Celsius Energy Arctic Vibe. Now, I'm extremely excited for this one because so far all of the tests that I tasted were good. Possibly except the dragon fruit and kiwi, I didn't like that one. Another reason that's why we're excited is this is an American product. We don't have every single flavor. This at the store that I usually go, they don't sell it, but the store I went to last weekend had it. So I'm actually super excited to taste it. And we're gonna do a short, so oh yeah. First thing first, smell test. Smells really nice. It smells really nice. It smells like blueberry, but it smells somehow, yeah, it smells nice. It smells cold, which is crazy, but it makes some sense. It's okay, that's why. Yeah. It's yeah, sparkling frozen berry edition. Sparkling frozen berry edition, let's freaking go. I would have put a Christmas tree there, to be honest, but that's me. Okay. It's good, but it's not the greatest. I'll be completely honest. There's a very big taste of frozen blueberry, and there's some taste of pineapple. Not pineapple, grapes. We had frozen grapes energy drink before. We had a whole box with the Zoa frozen grapes. It's not bad per se. It's just that I was kind of expecting more out of it. It does taste good. It's weird because it's not bad at all. It's just not a flavor that I would go for. It's just not a flavor that I would look forward when I drink the energy drink or any energy drinks. My main focus is going cream. My main focus is I'm gonna have one a day that's gonna be a lot of taste. It's gonna be very tasty. So I'm gonna go for something like explosive, with a punch in the face, and then I'll be happy the whole day because I had my dose, if you will. With this, I don't know. It just feels like it's underwhelming. The taste in itself is good. The taste in itself is what they were saying that's gonna taste like. Um, it is pretty delicious, but at the same time, I just expected more. When it comes to Celsius, there's right on the top of my head, there's three flavors I prefer to this one. So don't blink, it's your boy Come Show. You guys are doing well because they're having a wonderful 23rd of August 2025. I'm doing much better. So tomorrow we're starting to make content. I took a couple days off because I wanted to really pay homage to Cobras, King Cobra JFS. Now this video is a second part of Fly High King. Thanks for anything. This is my second video to the homage to King Cobra JFS. Now, I wasn't planning to do a part 2, and I don't think it really needs a part 2. Here's why we're doing it. Okay, so I feel awful, because I got an amazing community, and I think you guys, and again, maybe I wasn't precise, maybe I didn't talk properly, I think that you guys thought it was a friend of mine. Okay, I didn't know King Cobra JFS. I didn't know him. So, am I devastated by his death? I'm very saddened by his death, but I'm not a close friend. I'm not a family member. To me, this guy was a total stranger. Now, here's why I did a video. Here's why I was so affected. Again, the whole thing that I told you yesterday was completely true. I'm not going back on my word and saying, hey, by the way, oh, I was faking. He said we have a tournament today. That's why we need to be focused a little bit on that too. I wasn't faking yesterday. I really had strong emotion. Um, yes, I didn't know Cobra, and now that I'm doing a bit better, I do want to say sorry because my goal wasn't to worry you guys. I had 5 people tell me. My mom was one of them, which is not much as my mom, but I had people that are very. It's social media, so you don't expect these people to be on social media. I have friends on social media. I have close friends. I have people that I care about a lot. For those people to be there for these people to be um, saying things like I'm sorry for your loss, it means a lot to me because again, and what I say, I hope it's taken out of context. Uh, and when I do talk about the context, I want to talk about how I feel because this is important. As much as I'm grateful for the message, the people that I had the message, I never met them, right? And for King Cobra, this is kind of the same thing. King Cobra, I didn't meet him, but he meant a lot to me. Um, and with the video that with the response you guys gave, I can tell that I mean a lot to you, and I'm super grateful. It is the same thing. He meant something even though I didn't know him. He meant something even though I wasn't close to him. We weren't friends. We never talked to. So why was I affected this much? Like I said yesterday, now that I'm less emotional, I can kind of be more factual about why I really am gonna miss King Cobra. King Cobra, and again, this is gonna be sounding so crazy because when you know the guy, he was an alcoholic. When you know the guy, he was in a lot of drama, a lot of bullying, a lot of blaming his autism for a lot. Um, he was a role model to me, and this is why it hit so hard. Um, on the surface, you look at Cobra, you're like, this is a waste of space. This is such a loser. This guy's an alcoholic. He's drunk every single night. He's high every single day. But there was pain in there. There was pain. I watched. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even do it yesterday because I was so emotional. I watched the video that his dad did. His own dad having to bury his son. You know. Yeah. The reason why I was so emotional is because again, he was a role model to me. I am also neurodivergent. He uses autism a lot as an excuse. I use ADHD a lot as an excuse, right? It's not a question of victimizing myself. Again, it's not a question of, oh my God, you need to feel sorry for me. Woe is me. Oh, I'm so sad. It's not that, okay? It's all a question, and again, this is very important. It's all a question of how you view someone. For King Cobra, I saw a person that was neurodivergent, but didn't try to be apologetic. You know, I was talking about this yesterday. There's medication for ADHD. There's no medication for autism. I could take medication, and I could find another medication. I could. There's a ton of ways that I can medicate myself, right? And I could be more normal. A lot of people are gonna be seeing his videos, and they're gonna see my videos and say these two are weird. Maybe him more than I, but again, he had to suffer years of being bullied. He had to suffer years of. It's terrible. Substance abuse. He likes Celsius, so they were raising a glass to King Cobra JFS. I saw myself in him a lot. I saw myself in him a lot. The fact that you could come home, talking to guys. How many times in 4 years have I come home? More when I was working, but and then to you guys, I had to shoot it. Here's why. How many times did I come on the camera and said, I'm not sure about this, I'm insecure about this. It's very, it's, it's, it's hard because it was very motivational for me. Again, I didn't know the guy, but when I was depressed this winter, I was watching him, and the reason why I liked him so much was because most of the time, I mean, I was watching video making fun of him. Most of the time, I couldn't believe what he was saying. Most of the time, I was like, dude, this guy is unreal, right? Watching King Cobra most of the time felt like it was amazing. I watched a 4 hours video yesterday. The sex doll. So King Cobra had problem with the ladies, so he was talking about sex a lot, right? And he was talking about sex every single video. So one of his followers bought him a sex doll, and he used a sex doll. He customized it. It was a nice sex doll. Talking about four numbers, like $1,000 plus, and then the video ends. Like there's not 4 hours. You're right. It's 2 hours. And after 2 hours, one night he got drunk. He had sex with his doll. Felt ashamed, felt disgusted with himself. Took a knife and broke the doll. Broke the doll. You know. So the first 2 hours you're laughing because this is the guy that's talking about the sex doll and how amazing it is. And then for the next 2 hours, like I broke it. There's a 40 minutes, there's an hour where he's denying it. So for 3 hours, you're seeing a car crash. You're seeing a house burning. You're not asking yourself if there's people inside. You're just seeing the house burn. And at the end, the house is done dirty. And you feel bad because you understand what he did. You understand the shame. You understand the guilt. You understand how he discussed it with himself. It was very human. You know? And this is very personal, but I have to be selfish here. I have to be narcissistic here. You, I'm a my dream is to be a content creator. Okay, this is my biggest dream in life. Do I do I relate to content creator now? Do I see myself in somebody like Aiden Ross now? Do I see myself like XQC? We're both French Canadians, so maybe I see myself in Kaisenat, in Speed, in Neon, in Fusi. Fusi and I share the same birthday. He's born 22nd January. I'm born 22nd January. I don't relate to these people. Why? Because they're successful celebrities. Ask yourself the question: Do I do I do I thought I think I was a celebrity. There's even a filter. What celebrity do I look like? You look like physically, but mentally, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, you're not the same. Weirdly speaking, I was watching Coves. I'm watching DSD. I've been watching DSD for 3 years because I relate to him. I feel boring sometimes. I feel like I'm old, too old sometimes. I feel like I'm asking the world of you guys sometimes. You know, I relate to these people and their flaw, and maybe it's a problem of seeing myself in a negative light. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's one of my flaws. Maybe that's something I have to work on. Fine, I agree with that. I saw Codes, King Cobra JFS. I relate to that guy. He was saying things. Some of the time, there was the dumbest thing you ever heard. Some of the time, it makes so much sense that holy shit, I didn't even think about that. You know, I relate to that guy. I'm gonna say something very embarrassing. When I'm watching content, most of the time I'm working. In the winter, knowing that I have a depression, became the worst thing that could happen. Twitch said if you have more than 100 hours of content, we'll delete it. You have until this date. So why is that bad? Well, it's actually pretty simple as to why it's bad. I had 700 hours of content. They wanted 100 hours. I couldn't stream. Forget about it. I couldn't stream. So I was spending days seeing if clips are worth posting or not. I was watching codes. It's such a dumb thing to do because it's basically copying and pasting. It's basically downloading and copying on a hard disk or external disk. I was watching code, so I wasn't mentally challenged. So I would be listening, and sometimes you're gonna be watching. You're gonna be listening. You're gonna be at work, listening to a podcast, listening to radio. Doesn't matter. Okay. Doesn't matter what you're doing. You're watching a show, and you're on Facebook. You're on TikTok. You're on Snapchat sending your kids. Things we do. I shouldn't joke, but hey, this is a heavy video, so please, you know. And as you listen, for some reason, something that they said made you pay attention. And I was listening to King Cobra. I mentioned this yesterday. Watching two channels, most primarily Outdoors Boys and King Cobra. I love Outdoors Boys. One of my favorite channels out there. Is there a time where I went there and I said, "You're right, Luke"? Is there a time where I went there and said, "I can relate to that"? No. King Cobra at a point, and this is brain rot. So radicalized. So what you do is you watch somebody for so long, and you kind of agree with them because you watch them for so long. You watch them for so long. You watch them, then you watch them. Oh, but I caught you. I lost a little bit. Oh well, it's not a big deal. And you start to think like them. Not because they're right, but because you heard so much of what he said. It's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense because I heard it a couple of times. With King Cobra, there was multiple videos a day. I was like, you're right. I saw somebody that was flawed. Somebody that was genuine. I saw somebody that was himself, not unapologetic. You don't like me? Fuck you. I don't care. I am lucky. I had more. Some people will say my channel is small, but the other positive, there's no negativity in my channel. There's no haters. There's possibly haters who they're not vocal. I'm so lucky. You know? It's amazing. Some of you guys. I am sorry that you guys thought I knew him. I am sorry that you guys thought he was my friend. He wasn't my friend. I didn't know him. But he meant something to me. And when I use the word role model, it's very weird because we're such an equal footing that you listen to him. He's like that cool kid in class. The kid you want to be in class. When there's much better role model out there, there's much better. And at the same time, it's weird because you're kind of in a position where right here, right now, this guy doesn't make the most sense. Right here, right now, this is the guy I care about the most. I cared about Cobra. And I think there's a part of me that felt some kind of way about him. Because yes, he put himself in a situation that was bad, but there was a reasoning behind it. For example, the last girlfriend he had, she was toxic. Then again, he constantly got judged because he was balding. Constantly got judged because his eye he was cross-eyed. People were calling him like a frog. He wasn't the prettiest guy. So imagine seeing your comment section and you're only listening to that. And there's this girl, and she's not nice. I'm not gonna insult Jess because that's her name, but she's not nice, and everybody hates her. But you don't think that she deserves better. Hmm? You don't think that she deserves better. I don't know. Again, I was talking about DSP. DSP had a girlfriend and everybody hated, and she was not nice. But she was giving shit to the haters. She was mean to people that kind of deserved it, right? And yes, she went far. Yes, she was pushing, but it's it's real life versus social life, it is so weird how much his death affected me yesterday. Maybe it was, or it was, maybe it was already something I was dealing with. Maybe it was already an issue that I had. Maybe I was already sad, you know? Most likely I was already sad. I wanted better for Josh. I wanted so much better for Josh. I wanted him to get clean, stop drinking. I wanted better for him. I didn't want him to. I knew he wasn't gonna go be super famous. I knew he was probably at the peak of his career. I wanted a good ending for him because it was something that I care about. Like I say, something that deserves it. You guys have been amazing. You guys have been amazing. You guys were saying so much beautiful stuff. I was reading comments like, "Hey, we're here for you," and it's not making me feel bad. Too bad that you guys thought that. At the same time, I was sad. Am I still sad today? I might still sad today. I got a mosquito bite here. It's bug mosquito. Am I still sad? You can't really process it. I'm gonna say something that's disgusting, and I'm sorry if it's offensive. I actually say that I had two grandparents that died. Okay, that is not true. My grandma, my mom's mom, died before I was born. Liver failure. She was 60 years old. I didn't know her. My father's father's was an alcoholic. He lost everything to alcohol. His kid, they hated him. The my grandma left him. The kids, they left him. They gave him money for the farming. He's gone. My father was the oldest person in the family. I know this has nothing to do with, but it's just death. My father was the oldest of the family, so he didn't. He went to the city because where he's from, it's from the farms. He's from the what you call it, the I don't know how you call it in English. Yeah, he's from the farmland, so there's a lot of farm, there's not a lot of work, right? He went to Montreal, which is where we are right now, to work, to send money back home. And one day, this is a lot of information, but fuck it. And if you're watching this, Dad, I know you don't like talking about it, but I'm sorry. Fuck it. My uncle called it and said, "Hey, our dad's dead," and he was such a bad person that my father didn't care. And until I was 18, he didn't show me how his father died. Because to me, my father was important because it was my dad. But to me, the relationship between my father and I should have been the same that from his to his dad. Because again, it's father to father to father to father. And my relationship with my kids will be very reminiscent of the relationship that I have with my father. Why? Because dad's son, dad daughter, dad's son, more dad's son because I don't have a sister. You know? He told me he unalived himself. My father is very reserved. He's a very reserved person. He doesn't like to talk. He's like me. He doesn't like to talk about dumb shit. He's not gonna talk about things on the surface. So he comes in and tells me if your my dad unalived himself. And I asked him how he felt. Like, what is this? Oprah? Not, let's not talk about feelings. I said, okay, Dad. I wait a couple of times and then I asked him again. And at the end he told me, and that was years after. I was possibly 27, 28. He told me, I didn't love him, I didn't care about him, but I didn't want them to die like that. You know? So these two, my grandma was a great person. That's sad. My grandfather, bad ending, but hey. You know what's the worst thing about my grandfather? They didn't even hold the funeral. Because nobody claimed the body. Now, to be honest, I did have my grandfather and mom's father. It's a very bad relationship. My grandfather was an asshole. I'm not saying this just like he was an asshole. My mom left for Canada. Just to tell you, she left for Canada. My grandfather stayed there. You know, my mom never had a relationship with her father. However, she wanted a relationship with her father. She made a lot of effort to be with her father. He didn't care. My grandfather used to call me, which is again not true. My mom was there, and she asked him to call me. My grandfather used to call me little shit. He was laughing. I didn't speak in English, so I didn't know what it meant. To my father. My father never wanted me to call my grandpa again. I saw him one time in my life. Didn't care. I tried, he didn't care. So he did. When he was dead, he didn't care. Because again, he wasn't a great person, and I never had a relationship with him. My grandma was really nice. Mama Lucy was really nice, a sweetheart. Good person, smart, funny. She was caring, she was very caring. And she lived far, so she lived in my father's hometown. We would see her once a year. She was really nice. But at the end of her life she developed Alzheimer's. When she died, I was relieved. I was happy because she was living properly. She was incontinent. And yeah, my father said that. I told my father. My father she's in a better place. My father said we could have helped her. For the nomad, you couldn't have done anything. So when I say that, when I say those things, they, and again, all of what I'm saying they have a reason. I know I'm taking a long time, but they're having a reason, trust me. All of these, my grandparents said. My grandma was better off. My grandfather was an asshole. There was people that I care about that died. Chester Bennington. His music was amazing. But I really listened to album after I read Meteora and There's Midnight? No. But I really cared about Chester. I did. I care about the memories of Chester. I care about how it made me feel. I didn't care about the present Chester. I didn't follow his career, right? Rich Piana. Rich Piana, I cared about him a lot because he was a role model and I could watch him on YouTube. But with Rich, it was different. With Rich, it was very weird. Rich had a lot of scandals, racism, um, scams. Not to his fan, to other people. There's a lot of beef, and he wasn't exactly a good person. I avoided that. And I wanted to have this picture perfect of Rich Piano. And then we get the third instance of someone that died. By the way, yesterday I didn't talk about AGP. AGP dying was hard, but AGP dying was hard. And those people, I don't know them. They're freaking. Do I follow? AGP when he died, he was a skeleton. He was unhealthy. He died with his kids in his arm. Possibly the best death. You know? Then you had Cobra. Cobra, I didn't care about how flawed he was. I didn't care about how much hate he was receiving. I didn't care about the stupidity he would say. When he was drunk. He's drunk. Then I said, Robert Young an idiot. And then I apologize for what he says. He's drunk. I started watching Cobra to laugh at him. I ended up understanding him. Ended up having a relationship of him being a role model to me. He helped me be more myself on camera, you know. It was flawed. He felt more like a person. King Cobra felt like a friend of mine, even though we knew, but I didn't know him. A friend of mine. Rich was a teacher. AGP reminded me of my father. Chester influenced my teenage year, young adult life, a lot. King Cobra was a friend. Somebody that I could have met at the bar. I would have judged him until I took a beer with him, and we were the same, bro. You know, and that's why I'm feeling like that. You know, and then I was really emotional yesterday because of how I learned about it. So, and again, I'm sorry if this offending. This is offensive. I don't mean to be offensive. I saw the news that King Cobra was dead. I thought it was a joke because he had a lot of trolls. And I watched his father, and I watched it. So his father did the live stream, which was an hour and a half long, 2 hours. I don't remember. I watched a clip, which was a minute and a half long, confirming that King Cobra passed away. We think it's due to alcohol, like an alcoholism, liver failure, or something like that. You know? And with his father, and his father having to bury your kids. Your parents want to do that, you know? Made me think of my father. And then I had a emotional response where I know that I carry genes in my DNA that are passed on to my kids. What if my kids are bullied by genes that I gave them? What if it leads them to drinking? Could have been me. And I know that's selfish to say, but that's how much I associate or I relate to Cobra. Seeing his father cry, burying his son is, yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you guys are worried. I'm okay. We'll restart doing videos tomorrow, right? We'll restart doing live tomorrow, so we'll be okay. Thank you for caring. Thank you for worrying. The goal wasn't there the goal wasn't there. The goal wasn't for you guys to say, "Oh my God, poor age." I learned the news, took my phone, was emotional, felt bad. I came in and I filmed about the death. I need somebody to talk to. I'm gonna call my mom and say, "Hey, there's this guy I watched on YouTube that's dead." She doesn't give a fuck. My father, just not gonna give a fuck. But then you guys gave a fuck. But again, did you guys? And I'm so grateful. But if you guys are sad because you think it was my friend, then I owe you apologies. It wasn't my friend. You guys are worried because you thought I knew him, but I didn't know him. That's my fault because I wasn't clear enough yesterday. So that I do apologize. I do apologize. And that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. Again, another long video. It was supposed to be a shorter one, but I I don't think I need to say it, but I'll say it again. I am using this as a diary. I am using this as a platform to talk to you guys, you know? And this is insane. I would have done the same video if I had no viewers. If I had viewers. But there's one thing I'm not sorry about. Something I'm pretty proud about. I'm very excited to do things. You guys were amazing, so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that life gave me a community that's supportive. And let's normalize talking about feelings, sadness, despair, grief. Let's normalize that. It's normal. It's okay not to be okay. It happens. You know what? I made this whole 32 minutes video to say sorry. But am I really sorry? I'm sorry if you guys felt that there was a friend of mine and yet you were sad for me. I'm sorry about that. But I'm not sorry about the fact that I felt negative about something and I didn't. I had enough balls to come in, show emotions, you know? You guys, if you've been with the channel for a while, you see me cry, you see me laugh. That's even life. You shouldn't say sorry for being emotional. You shouldn't be sorry for not being okay. You're allowed to feel every single emotion that you're feeling. You're mad, you're pissed off. You're mad, you're pissed off. You're happy, you're joyful, share it. Be happy. Share your happiness. No, I'm kidding. I can honestly say I'm doing so much better today. Bro, your guys' response part of the reason as to why. For sure, for sure. Was the fact that I talked about it for a while yesterday. I talked about how I felt. Did it help? Yeah, it did. It did. It really did. Yeah, it really did. So that with that being said, thank you for everything. Don't blink, it's your boy, Yank. Welcome to our show, because we hope that having a wonderful day on this glorious 23rd August 2005. 23rd August, the time. Why am I showing the time? Why am I showing the date? Because I just got my phone back and I'm happy. But most of all, because we're sad boys. Um, the reason why I'm showing you the dates is because I don't know if I'm gonna have the balls to I don't know if I'm gonna have the balls to post this video. This video is addressed to No Cappy, ex No Cappy, a friend of mine. You possibly saw her on the channel a while ago. She was a big part of the content. She's doing wonderful. Then she did a stream, a Dead by Daylight stream, getting money for charity. So super proud of her. And this video is an apologies. Um, so yeah, so that's why I don't know if I'm gonna be posting it. And if I do post it, I don't know when I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it in a month, 2 months, I don't know. But remember the date, 23 August 2005. So why am I saying sorry? Because I didn't treat her well. Cappy was a friend of mine, and there's a couple of reasons as to why. And I could complain about some things that happened that I don't think were okay, but I didn't have a reason to be nice to her. She was really helpful. She was a big supporter. She was very kind to me. We were friends for 2, 3 years. She's been through shit. I was there. I went through shit. She was there. There's time where she needed space. It was hard to do, but I gave her space. But whenever I needed help, I could always count on her. So the reason why I'm saying sorry, I didn't treat you right, Cappy, and that I'm sorry. Um, if I have to give you one reason, and I know it's not a good excuse, but if I have to give a reason, hurt people are hurt people will hurt people. You didn't do anything wrong. The sole reason why I treated you like shit was because I felt like shit. The sole reason I treated you like shit was because you were close to me. That same week I fought with Janice, which is my best friend. That same month I fought with my father and my mom. And I can honestly say that every single one of those instances are my fault. I was hurt. I decided to hurt people. You didn't deserve it. You did nothing wrong. I just hurted people that was close to me. I just hurted people that were nice to me because I didn't want them to be nice to me because I didn't feel like I deserved that kindness. So I'm not asking for forgiveness, but I am sorry. And if you ever were wondering why I did it, I was just hurt. So I am truly sorry, and I am so proud of you because I'm seeing you grow. I'm seeing you glowing. With Cappy was always the case. So me and Cappy met. I'm gonna make it short, but still, it's a beautiful thing. We met through another person's stream, and Cappy was watching a lot of streams. And then she decided to do streams, and she really fell in love with it. But it became a lot. So if you're a streamer, you know how hard it is emotionally. So it became a lot for her emotionally, and she left because it was a toxic place. That being said,